Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm here to talk about the amazing, incredible, mind-blowing news of Microsoft actually purchasing Activision Blizzard. This is wild in all possible accounts that you could potentially imagine, and this will actually completely revolutionize how we're going to be playing games and what the gaming industry is going to be offering us for probably years to come, for the good or worst. I'm not entirely sure where I stand on it yet. So before we get into anything else, I want to go over pretty much the basics of it so we can all be on the same page and understand exactly what happened here. So first, let's talk about the actual purchase price. So back on January 14th of this year, 2022, Activision Blizzard stock was at a price point of $63.99 per share. So that means that for $63.99 per share, you could buy a single stock of Activision Blizzard. What Microsoft did in their offer, and what they offered Activision Blizzard, is that they offered them a 45% premium on top of that share, meaning that they were basically paying 150% for Activision Blizzard for what the company is worth. That's why they're selling. They are paying them above what the actual entire net worth of the company actually is. This is crazy. This is like you buying a house. The house is valued at absolute max at $100,000, and you come in and you make an offer for $150,000, and then of course the homeowner is going to sit there and sell their home. They'd be an absolute idiot not to, and that's exactly what Microsoft just literally went in and did. And as you could see on that picture I showed, I'll show it again. Look at that. Look at how Activision Blizzard stock has skyrocketed to literally $80 a share already in just this announcement alone. For those of you that don't know or don't necessarily understand how company acquisitions work, a corporation is based off of shares. Nothing matters in a corporation if you do not own shares. Now, they can have different shares like voting shares or common stock shares, which is what the people usually buy, that have no voting right, and you just literally are just invested and hoping that you make your money. When you buy a company, you have to literally buy every single share of that company. So that's why these sales usually take quite a long time, and why this sale isn't expected to be finalized until 2023. Also, the government's going to get involved. They're going to do research and yada yada, basically trying to figure out hey, are you guys trying to create a monopoly, which of course they are. Is it too much of a monopoly? It's going to affect the gaming market, and you guys are going to hold all the cards in your hand, and competition isn't going to be allowed. That's the only thing the federal government's going to be doing, and they do a pretty shit job of that anyway. But let me explain real quick what this means that Microsoft is getting and what they are going to put on Game Pass, which, by the way, I went in and I actually listened to the entire conference call. It's about 30 minutes. They have an investors conference call about this entire situation with all the big heads, the CEO of Microsoft, Phil Spencer being the CEO of the gaming division. Obviously, you have Bobby Kinchek, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, and everything else like that. And they are already said in that conference call that the second that they are able to put games on Game Pass from that IP, they are going to do it. That is their main goal and their main objective. And let me tell you, they are not fucking around. It's actually insane to me what they are sitting there and what they are doing, because this acquisition is so huge. Just to give you an idea of some of the games that are going to be coming with this, all of the Call of Duty franchise, all of it is coming with it. The Crash Bandicoot games are going to be coming with it. Anything and everything that Activision owns is coming with it. That means they're also getting King, which for most of you who don't know, that's the main developer who sat there and made Candy Crush, one of the biggest mobile games in the entire mobile industry. And it's insane, because now that means that Microsoft's going to have a massive foothold in the gaming industry, in the mobile industry as well. Absolutely mind-boggling to me what they are going to be getting out of this acquisition. Don't forget the big one, the one that you're probably going to be seeing on screen here today, World of Warcraft. They are literally getting World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, Overwatch, the entire Diablo IP, the original Warcraft IP for RTS games, which guess what? Microsoft has sat there and invested into RTS games as well. Look at Age of Empires 1 through 4 now. It's insane, man. This is going to absolutely revolutionize gaming as a whole with how gaming is going to be done. But again, it could be revolutionized for worse as well. So keep that in mind. While I'm excited and while I'm mind blown by this, just because it's a lot of the IPs and franchises that I felt have been dying under the leadership of Activision Blizzard, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be the feckin' greatest, and no matter what's gonna happen with this is gonna turn out great. No, that is not what I am saying. In fact, I can see it going either way. What's interesting is that I went on ahead and I got on Twitter just because I was kind of curious what the console war, like, retards were wanting to sit there and argue about. And, dude, they are so short-sighted, it's disgusting. I was seeing comments like, there's no way they would pull Call of Duty off of PlayStation. That would alienate, like, 50% of the player base. There's no way that they would do that. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, when you spend $70 billion on a company that you are purchasing, yeah, you better believe that they are going to make it exclusive to themselves. Here's probably what they're going to do if I had to guess, alright? So Microsoft's going to walk into Sony's doors. They're going to be like, hey, Sony, you want all these games that we're now hoarding to ourselves and we're not going to let you have any access to because you're an anti-consumer fucking company and have literally bashed consumers into the grave with your god-awful tactics and policies? Here's what we'll do. We'll let you put Game Pass on PlayStation as a subscription, and if somebody who has a PlayStation pays for Game Pass on PlayStation, yeah, sure, they can have access to it. Let's go from there. And Sony's gonna be like, you are fucking me. I honestly see that's the route that Microsoft is truly going to go with this. I really do. Like, they're probably going to try to force Sony's hand to put Game Pass on PlayStation, Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation, and then start moving it forward from there. That's probably exactly what they're going to do. All these people that are saying that they won't make it exclusive are absolutely out of their mind. Yes, they will. But they're not going to hoard it because it's too much of a player base for them to lose money. I genuinely think that the best business move for them is to put Game Pass on PlayStation and then let people subscribe to it and access all those same games from there, thus bringing people into the Microsoft ecosystem. You have to understand, Microsoft doesn't care about game sales. Microsoft doesn't care about anything else that's going on in regards to like the physical copies or anything else. They're too focused on their gaming metaverse that they're trying to create. And with that metaverse, they want every single person possible in their ecosystem, aka Game Pass. Like, let me give you some quick numbers here. Alright guys, this is directly from Microsoft's like website itself. They have sat there and they have over 25 million Game Pass members, okay? Let's do some basic math, alright? Okay, so I'm going to break it down for you guys. 25 million Game Pass members. That means that every single month there is 25 million people paying anywhere between $10 to $15 a month for Game Pass, because you have the ones that are just like Game Pass just for the console, Game Pass just for the PC, which are $10 a month, and then you have Game Pass Ultimate, which is for the console and PC, and you get both of them, which, by the way, a lot of people don't know this. If you pay for Ultimate on PC, you can cloud stream console-only games that are only on Xbox to your PC and play them with a controller from your PC, like as if you had a virtual Xbox. Like, Microsoft is moving away from physical everything. So I did the math for you guys at a very fair rate, okay? Let's say that, because obviously people are going to have different subscription models and everything else like that, but let's say that roughly on average every single individual person, if we break it down across all those 25 million people, is getting $12 a month to Microsoft, okay? Microsoft is getting paid $12 a month for their subscription across those 25,000. That means every single month from Game Pass, Microsoft is making $300 million from Game Pass alone. Not anything else like DLCs, exclusive first-party titles, anything else like anything else that they have to offer in the gaming sphere. They are just making this just from a subscription model. which is why they're going to push Game Pass even harder and try to get the entire PlayStation player base into the Microsoft ecosystem. I'm telling you guys now, I really do believe that that's my future prediction. I'm putting it out there now so nobody can argue and say like, oh, well, obviously, like, you can be hindsight 2020. That seems to make the most logical business sense move to me, is not to just make it an Xbox exclusive, but instead to force Sony's hand to putting Game Pass on their console because they've lost so many of these major titles. Dude, I'm telling you guys this too, by the way. Look at Game Pass. EA already has a partnership with them. It's only a matter of time before EA folds and comes into like being fully owned by Microsoft themselves. It's only a matter of time. EA is next on the chopping block for this aggressive game acquisition. And the funny thing is too, is that I see people trying to be like, well, Sony's going to acquire Square Enix. Okay, that's not enough. And the other thing is, Sony doesn't have enough money to really acquire this because their subscription services suck. They're anti-consumer. They had to increase the price of their games to $70 a new game on PS5, and nobody else is doing that. Nintendo on the Switch isn't doing that. Microsoft on the Xbox isn't doing that. No, Steam with like its first, it's like not, well, I shouldn't say Steam necessarily, but the games that are being released out on Steam aren't doing that. It's only Sony that increased their game prices by $70. I mean, to $70, and instead of like keeping it their traditional 60 that we've already had and we've been pretty much solidified in for the longest time. This is going to be insane, and like I said, it could mean a lot of my beloved favorite franchises could finally get a reboot under correct direction and vision that I've been so desperately wanting. Like, hopefully World of Warcraft, like the classic versions of World of Warcraft, the StarCraft franchise, Warcraft 3 being continued and like being a continuation, and potentially the Call of Duty games getting better and better over the course of time. But it could also mean a very, very, very dark time for us in the entire gaming industry as a whole. But that's pretty much my thoughts and my opinions on this. I just want to share this. This is absolutely insane to me, and kudos to Microsoft for doing this. Like, again, aggressive strategies, and I think it's going to pay off for them overall in the end. But yeah, this has been Rex Vladimir, not purchasing every single game studio in existence and publisher. Signing out. Peace.